Well, new neighbors in a small Wisconsin town started off as complete strangers. But after learning nothing more than a name, the two women ended up closer than either could have imagined. Elaine Quijano of our streaming network CBSN shows us their unbreakable bond. Elaine, you told me about this story. I was so looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes, I come bearing good news.
Yes.
Good morning.
We need it. We need it.
Welcome.
We need it.
Well, get ready. Pull up a chair. When Hillary Harris's new neighbors moved in next door, her biggest concern was whether they'd do their part to clean their shared driveway in the winter. But it turns out there was much more to her neighbor, Dawn Johnson, than she first realized. And that discovery changed both women's lives forever.
You know, my birth father was married, and
Hillary Harris says she was raised in a loving home by the couple who adopted her when she was just a month old. But she'd always wondered about her biological family. You wanted to find them?
yes, I always wanted to find them. It was always in the back of my mind, and I knew that eventually that I would search when I was ready.
That search started in earnest a few years ago when she and her husband Lance became pregnant with their daughter Stella. Hillary requested her adoption records to learn about her family health history.
That had all my health history. It had a letter from my birth mother, and then it also disclosed that my birth father, Wayne, had passed away in 2010. And then it had two half-sisters, Renee and Dawn. And then right here it says Dawn Johnson of Greenwood.
She found other relatives, but not Dawn. Then last year, new neighbors moved in next door, only a shared driveway away. The woman's name? Dawn, from Greenwood, Wisconsin.
Do we really want to share a driveway, not knowing who the neighbors are? So we put a bid in on a fixer-upper house.
And so how long after that did you actually formally meet?
I don't even know if we
I
did.
don't think we really formally met. I actually formally met her husband, Lance.
He comes in and he's like, yeah, I met the neighbor. Her name's Dawn. Dawn from Greenwood. I'm like, Lance, like, yeah. I'm like, you don't get it? He's like, what are you talking about? And so I went and pulled out all my adoption paperwork, and I said, Dawn, Greenwood, sister, you know? And he's like, oh my gosh.
The text came across was, who's your birth father? And I said, Wayne Klaus. And then she says, text back, oh wow, we have a lot to talk about. Can I call you? And I said, yes.
And I was just pacing back and forth. I couldn't, it was just, how could it be?
Yeah. I saw him pacing when he came here the next day, and I mean, just, he's like, what are the chances? What are the chances, you know? And we're all just like really just couldn't believe that something like this could even happen.
So we're 19 years and 3 days apart.
Though Dawn and Hillary share a father, Hillary was worried Dawn didn't want a sister.
She was like, did you know? Are you mad? I'm like, God, no, I'm not mad. I said, and I didn't know.
What was that moment like, Hillary?
I mean, I was so happy to find her, but I'm like, okay, well, this is serious. Like, now my sister's living next door to me. Holy cow. Well, this could be why Stella was so obsessed with her. Because, you know, you hear that kids kind of have that sense or something, intuition. And I remember thinking, like, this is why, you know. And that moment when I first embraced her in the driveway, I mean, it was amazing. It was a miracle.
I love giving her advice, even though she doesn't want it sometimes. But she's always open-minded about it.
And then this whole experience has made us close. I never knew I even wanted a sister, and I am so happy and so thankful to have her.
Now, this discovery almost did not happen. Dawn says the closing on their new house was postponed 3 times and that they almost walked away in frustration. But she says there was something about the house that drew her back to it. And I think that just makes it all the more remarkable.
It's great what the universe bringing these two folks together back again.
Absolutely. And 65,000 people live in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. What are the chances that at that approximate time she would have that thinking to go to that neighborhood on that street and find that house?
And how about Stella's intuition?
Stella
being drawn to her, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I joked. I said you should go buy a lottery ticket now.
I love it.
You've already won.
Sisterly advice being shared across the driveway.
Absolutely.
Elaine, a great story. Thank you.
Thank you.